episode 11. Hey, everybody, I am Mike.
And I'm Vic.
And you're watching
METS in Florida.
Florida. Hey, Vic.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing okay. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Nice day here in Florida. Nice and sunny.
Yeah, it is. A little hot here, but that's okay.
I'll still take it over the cold any day.
I love the cold. That's funny.
You like the cold. I rather sweat than shiver.
Really?
That's just me.
My attitude is you could always put something on, you know. So we got to talk about the draft today.
Yep.
And
so let's and before we start that, just a quick aside. And looking the draft, they did have a very good draft.
right.
By everything I've read, looking at the floors and the ceilings, possible ceilings on the players, they did a good job. And we don't know what's going to happen with Soto. Hearing today, the possibility of him getting dealt by the deadline is less so now. Things can still change. So if that's the case, on to the next, business, relievers and
Either way, you got to
hitting
get
for this
we got to make
year,
moves
and
either
that's
way.
it. Yeah. Yeah, and look at it, hey, Atlanta did it with a couple of throw-in players that helped them. That's what we need, I think a combination of throwing, good players to acquire and promoting some from within,
Sure.
namely Mr. Alvarez.
Mr. Alvarez, but even with Mr. Alvarez, I would like to still get one more bat.
Oh yeah. It's like
Whether it's
I'm just
Soto or
saying,
somebody else.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Relief especially.
Yes.
And like I heard today, even I know we're not going to do Contreras, but in a parallel universe, it would be cool to get Contreras and Robertson in one trade.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Yes, it would be.
I definitely want Robertson.
Right.
Mr. Robertson. Cuckoo, Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would even up that.
We got to address it no matter what.
If we got Robertson, I still would like to get one more pitcher.
Oh yeah.
One more. Two of those.
I would like to have honestly 2 relievers and then 1 major league bat and maybe 1 call up. And I'd be satisfied with that.
And then I'm satisfied, and then we'll see and keep our fingers crossed that we're the best team out there and go from there.
Yeah, Soto is a great piece to talk about, but it's still a distraction from what we still need to do. We still need to do something. So
exactly.
It's the bright light in the room.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
start up.
We're gonna start with number 1. Well, our first pick is overall number 11.
Kevin Parada.
Yeah, and he was picked. I saw in some mock drafts number 7, so he was a top 10 pick.
Yes, and
he's
right now he's a catcher. There's still question whether or not he'll stick at catcher or be moved into another position,
as we talked about yesterday. Even
basically, from what I've read, it's more. I think he's athletic and he runs well for a catcher, but his arm is iffy.
Is it
for a catcher?
Yeah,
for a catcher. So doesn't mean he has a bad arm. He's just like a little iffy. So, but the guy can hit, and he knows the strike zone. He kind of averages out his strikeouts and walks. So that's a good thing. Very interesting setup at the plate, what he does with his hands. But I can see what he means when I saw an interview with him about it's comfortable and he seems to get good top spin. He gets under the ball when he sets up that way. So it's worked, and good for him.
Yeah, hey.
And I like this pick.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with it. He was the best one available at the time.
Yep.
So, absolutely.
All right. So
the next one was Jett Williams, shortstop.
Jett Williams
overall.
Right.
He was projected on some to be a top 10 pick as well.
Right. And I did hear his name prior to the draft being, I forgot who the Mets picking him at 14th, so they were correct on that one.
Yeah.
The only knock I would say, if it's really a knock, is that he's not tall. He's around 5'8", 5'9".
At one time, that was the average height of baseball players. I mean,
Yeah,
he's a middle
and then-
infielder.
There's a couple of players on Houston right now in that range who are really good players.
Yeah, and one of them might be a Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
You
So
know, even with the buzzer.
yeah. I mean, even if you look at, I don't think Mookie Betts is that big either.
No, he's not. No,
What is he? 5'10"?
if that.
Yeah. So hey, you can play.
Doesn't matter. That's
Okay.
your size is really. I mean, in baseball, it's really irrelevant. It's what you can do with it.
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
But I do hear a lot of good things about him. I've heard him also being compared to, like you said, Alex Bregman, who's
Right.
no slouch.
Yeah.
Um,
That would be a good.
And I did hear size-wise,
comparison.
he is similar. He's closer to Mookie than to Altuve.
Yeah.
So that's not even an issue. Like whatever. The third one was the pitcher, Blade Tidwell, 52 overall.
Yep. I like this pick. Another one who was supposed to go in the first round. So we picked well here. There's a little projectability here. I think it has to do with his health, really. I heard he got shut down for a little bit because of his shoulder.
Yeah.
But he came back basically the same afterwards. So he can get the fastball up to about 99, which is good.
And he's from Tennessee, and I think they're known to make good players.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he comes from a good school there.
The Headache Orange.
Yep. He's got a good slider, and from what I see, what else they say about him?
They say he was 27 heading into the pipeline.
Right.
He was ranked 27.
Right. I think what scared off some people was
the injury.
The injury, yeah. So, maybe hopefully it's nothing.
No.
And he's good, Look at
And his name is Blade. What do you want?
Yeah, the Blade. I guess we're getting guys with nicknames,
Why
Jett
not?
the Met. If Jett Williams makes it up, he's Jett the Met.
Jett the Met. Blade.
Blade, the Blade. I can almost hear it now. The Blade cutting down hitters like there's nothing.
Right.
I can see it. I can see it now. What else did they say about him? Let me see.
Yeah, they say it depends on his health.
Right. Right. Okay. That's
That's good.
Yeah.
The next one, Nick Moravito.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a mystery. What did you get on him?
What I get on him as far as what?
Like his comps.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean
91 overall.
We picked him 75th.
19 years old.
He has a short, compact swing. He's played shortstop and center field, but his arm strength is not the best, so he might end up as a second baseman.
Okay.
So not a bad pick at all.
So him and Jett will be in the middle.
Right.
No, but then
Right.
you got Lindor. So
right, Lindor. So it's more like 2 second basemen there.
Yeah.
But you never know. Depending how things go with Beatty and everything, you never know. Might switch.
You don't know at all. All right, so the next one is Stanley Consuegra. Stanley Consuegra.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no, not
that's not a
him.
pick. That's
I'm
not a
looking
pick.
at the wrong.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
not a
know that
pick.
name.
Yeah, that's,
I was practicing my pronunciation.
yeah.
Brandon Sproat, a Florida Gator.
Yes, a Gator. That's pretty good. Pretty good pick. Um, now we're starting to get into projecting these guys more, as we pick them, but they're still getting high, the picks that they're having, they're still getting good players.
I think it was, yeah, I mean, for what was available, sure.
Yeah.
He's got
Uh,
some good things said about him.
you know what?
He, let me look here.
Let me see here. Let me see.
He was with Team USA. He looked good. He's a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
But that could just be with maturing.
And he good here. He gets his fastball up to 97. He's touched 100.
But he throws it. He doesn't locate well.
Its location, yeah. Is his location. That's the thing. They might do with him what they've been doing, what I noticed this year, with a lot of starters. They have brought them up on from the beginning of the year. I've seen them go 2-inning stints, 3-inning stints, not more than 4. Even when a pitcher is going good, I've been seeing them take their pitchers out after 4, which gets confusing after a while until you start looking at background, whether these guys are relievers or starters. And after I looked a little bit, they are starters.
Yeah.
So they're basically having their starters ramp up slowly throughout the year. And they're actually making, it's interesting, they're actually making their relievers go multiple innings. So
Yeah.
it's almost like they're training both their relievers, their workload just a little behind the starters, which is something very different because you typically relievers in the minors, they're going 1-inning stay, they're actually pushing them, and which is good as far as them going up the ladder. Because we said this before, we don't have a lot of relievers that can go multiple innings or multiple days in a row. So it's good that we can build them up this way, to help the big club, depending on which ones rise up to the top. But I think there's some, growing pains there because I've noticed most of the guys, their ERA is inflated because they got hit hard early on in the year when they first started doing that. And as the year has gone on, the ERAs have all dropped down, with exception of just a few. But most of the guys who have really good stuff, their ERA has gone down from the beginning of the year to the point we are right now. And that's starters and relievers.
No.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And once you start looking through the numbers, or you start seeing.
Yeah.
it,
Once you
you're like, okay.
really look deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next one is another third baseman, Jacob Reimer.
Yeah. I've heard good things about this kid. He's third baseman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing because we don't have a third baseman that is a third baseman, like for sure. Beatty has had to work a lot on his defense to become competent so
Yeah.
far. I haven't heard glowing reports about him as far as a fielder, a Beatty that is.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a guy who can play third.
To actually play.
Yeah, so that's good because you never know with Beatty. Beatty could, if he's not works out at third, he can transition to the outfield, which he has played, as well as Vientos has done too.
True.
Let me see. They did compare him to former first-round pick of the Diamondbacks, Matt Davison. So that's not a bad comp.
No.
And he's hit 46 home runs between 2017, 2000. Yeah, he's hit 2000. What Matt Davison is, who's hit those home runs for White Sox. So they compare him to him. Balanced bat, and he makes hard contact, which is good. And he's projected to have a powerful bat. So
He's from the same town as Taiwan Walker.
right, and he could move in quickly. On a side note, I saw a tweet today that Taiwan Walker reached out to him to congratulate him, and also if he needed any advice or anything to reach out to him. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty nice.
That the major league players are actually watching the drafts.
They really are. They're
You
looking
know?
out for the kids.
Yeah,
That's
I like
nice
that
to
of
see.
Taiwan Walker because it's like, here he is. Taiwan Walker is a free agent at the end of the year. He might not be with us. Maybe he will. Who knows how things will shake out? But it's really interesting.
They're investing in
How,
the future regardless.
Yeah,
You're right.
that is good because it's like
It also shows that the current guys want to stay.
yes,
They want to
yes,
stay.
yes. I'm sure. My gut feeling is most of them will. There will be some people going.
Of course.
There will be some people going, but
That's the
as
dirty
new
part of the
players come in.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's sad, but
It is,
let's
'cause
see.
they do. The one thing about being a baseball fan, unlike any other sport, this is an everyday affair.
Right.
And they become like part of your family because you follow them every single day.
True.
So you do get attached.
Yep.
And the players, even though the players may not want to admit it, they get attached. So
Yeah.
it's like, unfortunately, the dirty part of the business, you do have to say goodbye at some point.
Yep.
Deandre Smith, shortstop.
Okay. Again, another one more smallish guys. 5'9", 180 pounds
Yeah.
from California. He actually got drafted higher than what he was rated by us.
Right.
On MLB, he was at 189. On Prospects Live, he was at 275. He has his run and field score on a 50 grade out of 80. And what else did they say about him? Yeah, it seems like he will stick at shortstop. However, there was concerns about him selling out for more power.
Yeah.
So let's see. Maybe they can find a balance in there because his strikeout numbers started to rise as he was trying to increase his power.
Of course.
So it's kind of like one of those projection, and maybe you tweak on what he's doing to get more left. So let's see how it is. It's not
By
bad.
the way, the name I was
More talent.
reading, the Stanley Consuera, he's with the Cyclones. He had a 500-foot home run. That's what I was looking at.
Yes, he was. I told you I had seen him in Port St. Lucie.
Right.
When I got to see Ramirez, and then I noticed that I believe, I think Consuera, no,
Consuerga.
Consuerga, yeah.
Consuerga.
Consuerga. I believe he was hurt previous 2 years. So he's kind of been behind the curve a little bit. So he's starting to get more regular reps. And actually now in Brooklyn, he's actually doing better than Ramirez is.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So Ramirez raked in St. Lucie, struggled a bit in Brooklyn. Now he's starting to find himself again. And Stanley has just taken off in Brooklyn. So that's good. That bodes well.
Good sign, yeah.
Yeah.
The next one's Tyler Stewart, right-handed pitcher from Mississippi, Southern Mississippi. Big dude.
Which one are you at now?
Tyler Stewart.
Tyler Stewart. Okay.
6'9", 250.
Yeah.
Southern Mississippi.
Let me see if I'm at where you
The bottom of the first page. You got to go back to page 1.
Okay. All right, here we are. Yeah,
He's a sophomore.
I'm not sure if I, see, I did see,
179 overall. Let's see.
what they say about him.
Basically, he's the first senior that the Mets drafted. He's likely to sign under slot value. 2 and 4 seamers, 93 to 98. He has an mid-80s changeup, which he's good with. He's got a slurve in the low 80s, slider. He doesn't dominate though as much as velocity suggests.
I like the way they broke up this draft by it's almost an even amount of pitchers and hitters.
No, I think that's good. It
Yeah,
had to be by
so
design, you would think.
yeah, at least
Then-
they didn't do anything like what's
Another
his
pitcher,
name?
209th overall, 7th round, right-hander, Jonah Tong.
Jonah Tong. Yeah,
He's from Georgia, Premier Academy.
now with him,
He's a small
Um,
dude for a pitcher.
he's a small dude. Yeah, I mean,
He's from
he's
Canada.
6 foot, 100, he's very light, 165. You kind of, I think they're going along the same route as they did with the other Canadian pitcher they picked up last year, who's actually doing very well for us.
You know what I'm saying?
His name escapes me right now. He's right-handed. He's a right-handed pitcher, throws mid-90s. He is playing with the St. Lucie Mets. He was one of those.
Not Dominic Hamill.
No, not Dominic Hamill. He's Canadian, blonde-haired.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, his name escapes me right now. Maybe it'll pop in, but I've followed him and great breaking ball, very good
He's got
fastball.
12-6, yeah.
Yeah, 12-6. He is getting a lot of swings and misses. A little bit on the walk issue with him, which is why I mean, his ERA is not bad. It's like 3. It probably could be lower if it wasn't for his the walks.
Wildness. Yeah.
But yeah, but it's not too wild. He's had some starts where he's walked. I seen 3 or 4, and then other ones that he didn't walk anybody.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're bringing him along slowly because I've seen him go the most was 4 innings and taking him out, even though he was pitching well. So I
Yeah.
guess that's their philosophy, how they're, maybe
doing
they're
it.
bringing them up, lower innings, and each level go up a little bit more as far as innings they can pitch.
Yep.
Which, as a side note, is something that I did read about, how MLB is trying to limit the total amount of players that you can have as far as pitchers, meaning they're trying to push teams to make these pitches go longer.
Good.
So there's a trickle down effect here, because if that's the case, you got to be ahead of that curve and doing
Yeah,
that
you do.
now. You can't just jump in, because if you do, there's going to be a lot of casualties. Hopefully the Mets are not one of them, but there's going to be casualties along the way when they start pushing these pitches to go more.
Yeah,
that they're
that's true.
accustomed to. I think this is more of the new pitchers that will be coming, but the ones who are already established, you can't
Mess with
do
them
that
now.
to them. So, yeah, it's going to be really tough, because not to mention the prevalence of Tommy John and people coming off of Tommy John. You don't really want to do that, but I digress. That's just something that I seen on the side that I was
hear
really besides the pitch clock, you have that. I was like, wow, that's a kind of going old school.
That is.
When pitchers used to go, if you saw a pitcher and he didn't pitch 7 innings, you were like, what the hell? He sucked.
Yeah. I know. It was
You're
different
not gonna
mentality
7
back
innings.
then.
Yeah, when I was watching,
Then the
if a
quality
pitcher went
stuff
out-
became 6 innings.
right. If you saw a pitcher go 5 innings, he was dominating. You're yelling at the TV at the manager, say, leave him in there. What are you doing? It's like, now it's like you just accustomed to it. It's like, oh, get him out.
Get him out.
Before the
It's
third
so
time through the
weird.
lineup. It is what it is now.
Yeah.
So
The
he's got it.
239 right-hander Dylan T-Break or Tabraki. I don't know how you say his name, but
Dylan, I would say T-break.
T-Break. I was right the first.
I'm running like
23, so he's a
239.
little older. Creighton University.
Let me see. Impressive ERA, 2.80 and 222 innings pitched.
Yeah.
So that was good. And he has increased his velocity. He went from originally 88 to 90, which is kind of below average for a righty. Then he early part of the year he was at 91, 92 and touching 95. He's got a average slider and mid 70s below average curveball. So he's I guess you would say he's one of your he has limited opponents to 211 batting average, which is good. And he was the 2022 biggest pitcher of the year. So he knows how to win.
Yeah, he does.
So he is we'll see he's what we call a depth piece for sure. And maybe more. I mean,
Definitely.
we are getting good results from based on last year's draft, guys that were drafted fifth round on, we're getting really good results on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, you know,
Just never know.
yeah. And I mean, hey, we got two in the major leagues, one waiting to come, well, two of them waiting to come back, McGill and Jake, that were not, high draft picks. So you never know.
This guy kind of reminds me like he could be like a Tyler McGill type.
T-break?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know why.
Maybe.
Maybe the velocity needs to be a little higher, but
Yeah, there's
McGill didn't
another
throw that
guy.
hard in the beginning either, I don't think.
There's another guy in later on in the rounds that I had seen that throws very hard. Is a really big dude. So I can see him being more like McGill
Maybe.
than him.
So then we got
S-step,
third baseman S-step, and then
No.
it says yeah. So Chase S-step, 22 years old, University of Kentucky. Yeah, third base.
He had 302, 416 on base, 560 slug,
He
13
can
home
hit.
runs.
He's known to be a good hitter.
The power surge was his biggest turnaround. Yeah, considering he only hit one home run in his first two college seasons, so maybe he discovered something, or they
Maybe.
discovered it for him. So
And then the next one is a pitcher named Cameron Foster. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Right-handed pitcher Vermillion.
yes,
First of all, that's a cool name.
yeah,
Vermillion. Let's see. Zebulon Vermillion. That sounds like a movie character, like a superhero kind of.
yeah, really.
Zebulon Vermillion. That might be the best name in the draft.
Wow.
Fifth-year senior, Arkansas. He'll be 24 this October, so he's older as well. 239 ERA. He averages 9.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's good.
The only thing about him,
His
the reports were
velocity's not
limited.
up there.
Yeah, it's at 93.
He could touch 95, but
Yeah.
he's a large
that's
bird. He's large though.
Yeah.
So
But
maybe
you know what?
his velocity
Sometimes
will pick up.
depending on the spin rates, it could be better. It could work out better.
Yeah.
I had seen Mike Vassell at St. Lucie,
Yeah.
and I was watching him throw and looking at the gun, and he was throwing around, I think he was like 94, 95. But where I was sitting and the view I was getting, he looked like he was throwing a, it just was popping. It was exploding out of his hand.
Right.
And I kept looking at it, like, wow, I was surprised. I mean, not that it's slow, it was like 95, but it definitely looked faster.
Yeah.
So, and I know, they're drafting a lot now, like all the teams with spin rates. And I think
Well,
the
that's a
Mets
big thing.
especially now, I think
Um,
especially they're looking at that.
The next one was an outfielder, Rylan Thomas,
Yeah.
Rylan
Kind of
Thomas, University of USC, basically.
mhm.
An outfielder. And then in the 12th round, we had a right-handed pitcher, Paul Gervais.
Right.
So Thomas is a junior. It seems like it says here the Mets are continuing to prioritize bat to ball skills.
Yes, that's what I've been seeing a lot. I'm wondering if they have faith in the coaching staff to help them develop these kids' power. Because even though I love the guy, from the Mets, like Guillaume, you can't have a whole bunch of Guillaumes around.
No, you can't.
You gotta, it's great if you're hitting, almost 300, but
Yeah.
you got to be able to put him in the gap over the
No, as
wall.
long as he keeps hitting home runs against the Braves, I'm happy.
Yeah, but but that's what I'm saying. It's like I just want to see a little bit more pop, and maybe see, the thing is, just like it's one thing if you have these big guys who are contact hitters, and then you develop them into more power. You can kind of see. I don't know, but maybe they're having success. We're getting guys to hit.
Well, I
for
know
more
we're
power.
changing our mentality now, our philosophy when it comes to that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got Paul Gervais, the right-handed pitcher from LSU. Another big pitcher, 6'10", 230, 1.85 ERA, 52 strikeouts, 29 appearances. His swing and miss changeup fools lefties mostly, especially. Hits 97.
So what round is that?
This
Is
is
that
12th.
the 12th round? Okay.
Then we had that looked like a pretty good one. Then we had I'm looking at the time, that's why.
Yeah.
More pitchers, right-handers, Dylan Ross and Cameron Foster, 13 and 14. Another big pitcher, 6'5", 251. Like the Mets are going after. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Out of the ones we just mentioned, and there's more plays to go, but I think we'll stop it from here because we're starting to.
yeah, we're running out of time.
Yeah, I do like Foster. He's one of those, could be a starter, could be a reliever. I like his numbers, 84 strikeouts and 63 innings.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yep, that's very good. And 1.86 ERA, another
Yep.
larger pitcher. And the Mets seem to be going for that. You notice in the end of the draft.
Yeah.
I guess they're going for maybe pitchers that could even improve in their velocity. I don't know, but
yeah, I think so. I think that they definitely feel like they can do that, and then a lot of the plays they have done that. But all in all, I think we had a good draft.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Especially the top guys, and let's get them into the system ASAP. I love.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then we'll wait for the Jackson Jaha, Jimmy Loper, Connor Brandon, and Chris Santiago way down the road. Those are the last four.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
no, you never know. It's exciting because I do see positives in pretty much all these guys. So I heard a lot of good reviews about our draft, so that's good to hear as well.
Yeah. And we'll continue to just kind of, we'll touch base on some of these, and it'll be fun to, in maybe another 3 weeks or so. Some of these will be making their debut. So
all I know is it's going to be a really wild 2 weeks coming up.
Yep. Yep.
So on that note, 3, 2,
Yep.
1, let's
Let's go.
go Mets.
Mets.
Thank you, Vic. Everybody like and
Thank you, Mike.
subscribe. Have a good one.
Yep.
We'll talk soon.
We'll see everybody next time.
Yep, sounds good.
Have a great day.
You too.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye-bye.